Hello guys, I'm back with a new inflatable review, finally, and this will be on a new 2021, so this will be my first 2021 review, and this will be on the 12-foot cat from At Home, and it's 12 foot tall. So this giant guy is being sold at Home for 170 bucks, or 169.99 if you want to be technical, but yeah. So this is the box to it. There's nothing special about the box. It just has this on all three sides, and then there's the back. Like I said, there's nothing special on it. They don't even say it's Halloween. They just call it cat. Really lazy, in my opinion. And then there's the Gemmy 2021 on the box. And then here's the stakes to it. It has some base stakes. It has 3 base stakes, unfortunately. And then it has, yeah, I meant the curly ones. And then it has the regular base stakes, and then it has 4 tether attachments, and it has 4 tethers and 4 stakes. But yeah. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is this giant cat. And would you guys think he's giant? I think he's pretty big. I'd say he's big, but I don't say he's like super massive. But he is bigger than I expected, which is pretty good. So here is the cat that I did not get, surprisingly. This cat is not my cat. This is actually Josh's cat. And he actually made a video of this earlier. He said, don't buy this from the at-home store. Don't buy this from the at-home store. And I will explain to you guys in detail why you shouldn't buy this from the at-home store. Well, it all depends on if you want the cat or not. And I'll tell you guys, I was really close. And I mean, I was really close to considering about buying this guy. Because think about it, Gemmy hasn't really made a big cat before. The biggest one they made is like 10 foot. And this one's completely different. It's got a hat, and it's got swirly eyes, it's got a big smile, and this one's just different. It's really different, and that's kind of why I wanted this one. But at the last minute, I wrote this one off. It's a good inflatable. It's a really good inflatable, but there's a few things that make me not want this inflatable as badly as I used to, because I was very close to getting this inflatable. The one thing that I will say right off the bat before I go into more details is the hat. What makes this 12 foot tall is it's not actually the hat that's 12 foot tall. That's more like 10, maybe 11 foot tall. It's the tail that makes it 12 foot tall. So the cat's body is only about maybe 9.5 foot tall. If that. It's not that big, unfortunately, which is a little disappointing. But there's the tail on it. It's actually hanging up in the air. And that's what makes the cat 12 foot tall. Otherwise, it's about 9, maybe 9.5 foot tall. But he is still huge. They didn't make the claws on this inflatable again. Knowing Gemmy, of course they didn't. They wouldn't do that. But here's the face. It's got the swirly eyes, and it's got the big smile. I'll go back and show you guys it one more time before I go more in depth about Mr. Cat. But this guy is actually pretty cool, despite his flaws. But yeah, I'll just go in over this. This thing does not have a 125 for how big this thing is. It does not have a 125 tornado fan. It only has an 80A. And I'll show you guys how tightly this inflates. You see how much I gotta push on that fabric to have it feel the resistance? This does not inflate that tightly. And it's because of that small fan. This does not inflate that tightly. And if its inflatable does not inflate that tightly, then how's it gonna last? If it's only gonna last 2-3 seasons, then why would I want it? And also, if it inflates this week, this thing's not gonna want to stand up by itself, because there's so much weight already in the cat with all this fabric. It doesn't have an animation mechanism, sure, but look at that long neck and that big head. That is just huge. That is very huge for this thing, and I'm sorry guys, but I really don't like the fan it has. It has an 80A and has 67s, but I need to show you guys the light placement Look at the light placement in this. It's got 67s. You ready to know where they all are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them are in the body, and only 1 is in the head. What the hell? You can't even put. They can't even put 1 in the hat, and they didn't even bother to put any in the tail. I don't even blame that on Gemmy. I blame that on At Home. At Home, you really made a missed opportunity with this inflatable. You could have had Gemmy put 1 or 2 lights in the tail, 1 or 2 lights in the hat, and maybe even 2 lights in the face. That would have been much cooler than having 5 of the C7s in the body. The body is black, but people hardly even see the body. You can't even really see the fabric on a black inflatable and has C7s. Oh, you can just see the light in it, but that's about it. That's my main. The fan, the size of what the fabric is for this fan, and the light placement. That's what really concerns me about this inflatable. And that's why I don't really recommend this one either, because I love the cat inflatables, don't get me wrong, and this one is decently cool, but I just don't, they really cheaped out on this, and they're charging you $170 for it. That's why I don't think this thing is 100% worth it, in my opinion. But if you guys want it, then yeah, sure, you can buy it. But without further ado, I'll show you guys the tether attachments. It has two on the sides of the body. They're both just above the legs. There's the one side of the body, and then it has the same for the other side. And then it only has 1 tether attachment on each foot, which is unfortunate. But I will give props to Gemmy. These tether attachments are a little longer. Actually, I don't think this one is longer, but I think the other two. Yeah, these ones are longer, and on the sides of the feet. These ones are actually longer. So I will give props to Gemmy for making the fabric for the stakes longer on the feet. At least on these sides, but on these sides they did it, but not on that side, which is really dumbfounding. I don't know why they did that. But then there's the tether attachment on the other side of the body, which is right around here. And then there's the back of the cat's head. And there's his butt. And there's his giant tail. He's kind of leaning over because he's on a hill. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Nothing I could really do about it. Here, I'll try to move him over. Maybe that will help him. Yeah, that kind of helped him. But he only has 2 zippers. Has one by the base fan, and then one under his butt, under his stomach. It's a pretty big inflatable on the inside, though. And yeah, it is deflating rather quickly. So we'll find out if this thing stands up, which I very highly doubt it will. Oh no, it actually is getting up. So maybe, just maybe, this thing will get up by itself, but I don't know. It's got too weak of a fan, I don't want to chance it. But it did actually get up by itself, if you guys saw that. So maybe you can get up by itself, but still, I don't like the fan they put in this, and I'm not gonna risk it with this fan because it. So if I ever get this inflatable, which I may not still, but if I ever do, I will replace the fan, and I'm not a huge fan of that 80 and such a big inflatable as this. This thing is way too big to have an 80. But yeah, but I think it's the legs that are gonna make it inflate a little bit better. So I'm happy that this thing doesn't have skinny legs, because if it had skinny legs, then yeah, it definitely would not stand up by itself. But otherwise, that's basically it for Mr. Cat. I'm a little disappointed that Gemmy still hasn't put sandbags in the feet of these big ones, which is still upsetting. But you know what? That's Gemmy's decision, not ours. And the stores don't even have anything to bother with that. I don't know why the stores don't even bother with that. It probably costs them too much money. But yeah, that's basically it for this giant inflatable. Would I recommend it? Up to you. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it, but that's entirely up to you, like I said. It would be better if this thing was had animated eyes. That would actually look much cooler than this design. But yeah, that's basically it for this cat. I apologize if this review's a little longer than it should be, but I really need to hit hard on those details with this cat. But anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Halloween inflatable reviews and Christmas ones too. And Mr. Cat wants to say goodbye to you.